think is the best fit to get the boys back to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I've been pondering over this for a while, but I'm going to go with Lincoln Riley here. And the reason I'm going to go with Lincoln Riley is because I think when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, the strides that they made offensively under Kellerman, we saw Dak Prescott have his career year this year, and they put up a lot of really good, strong offensive numbers. If you're going to move on from Jason Garrett and that offensive coaching staff or the coaching staff in general, then I think a guy like Lincoln Riley makes a lot of sense from the standpoint of this is a guy at Oklahoma who's dealt with, different quarterbacks, whether it's Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts, and Kyler Murray. All three of the guys won the Heisman Trophy. They're all different style quarterbacks, and he all made them work. I think his scheme, combined with Dak Prescott in the year that he had, I think he would bring some innovative and some really fun schemes to the National Football League and particularly to the Dallas Cowboys. And I think you see that, when you talk about these offensive guys, you can oftentimes pair them with defensive coordinators, especially with defensive coordinators that had previous head coaching experience. So I think it would be awfully enticing for the Dallas Cowboys to go to Lincoln Riley route. It makes a lot of sense in my opinion.
Not to me. and simply because of this, Damon, you understand we've both been in NFL locker rooms. We've been in different NFL locker rooms. We understand that it is hard for a college coach to leave the college ranks dealing with kids where they can scare them because they only have 4 years in which they can try and get to the NFL, and dealing with grown men that have guaranteed contracts that can outlast you. It's hard to win over that locker room, and to do that, you have to be empowered. And I don't see Jerry Jones as an owner that empowers his coaches. That's one of the problems that Jason Garrett alluded to when he was trying to make a case to keep his job, that he wanted to make sure that he can still make his play calling, that he don't need a owner having a press conference outside of the locker room after every game, kind of mixing the message up that you're trying to send to the team.
I think that's overblown. I think that's overblown with the whole press conference outside the locker room. I think that's overblown when you're talking about grown men and doing their job.
But what do you think that the Dallas Cowboys didn't win because of the X and O's, or that they didn't have a coach that held them accountable, that made sure that it was consequences if they didn't perform, that if guys weren't performing to the top of their level, being able to sit them down? Whenever I can go around the head coach and complain to the owner, that's a problem.
I don't think it's a problem having Jerry give post-game press conferences if the message that he is given is congruent with the message that you're delivering. I think the problem comes when because the players get a lot of their information from the media too. When the players are hearing one message here and one message there, that's a challenge. I think that Lincoln Riley is interesting because all the reasons why you named Lincoln Riley were plenty of the reasons why I think that they don't need him. Their problem isn't on offense, or their problem isn't at quarterback. Lincoln Riley, you kind of think of him in the McVay mold, where he can go somewhere with an underachieving quarterback and make him better. I don't know how much better you expect Dak Prescott to be. Their trouble is with on the defensive side of the ball. And they do a lot of that zone stuff where they're like, we got so much talent. We do what we do, and it's gonna beat you. Nah, in this NFL, you got to scheme a little bit more. And I think Dallas tried to do that later in the season, but it was too late. So I think that you need a smarter head coach, and Lincoln Riley, a smarter defensive-minded head coach if you're going to go that route. Lincoln Riley is the guy who I would envision would not be that. You look at what he's done at Oklahoma, it's been, I guess you could argue that he knows how to win without defense because he's certainly done it there, but he's certainly
that's
not
why
going to
you
come
pair
into
him
the
with
league.
A defensive-minded head coach. But you still haven't gotten to the coach that
Mike Zimmer should be the coach. If they can get Mike Zimmer out of Minnesota, somebody that's familiar with Jerry Jones and his antics, somebody that's going to get instant credibility in that locker room, somebody that's a proven winner on this level, this team is in the window to win now. They're not going to be able to hold on to all this talent, because you can't pay everybody. You still got to pay Cooper. You still got to pay Dak. You got to pay Jones. At some point, you got to cash in and move on. If you're going to give Dak Prescott $35 to $40 million, you can't keep all this talent around him.
I understand not wanting to keep going to the retreads. Like, I get that. You want to give a new guy a chance, but this job seems like a job that requires some experience. This is not one where you can learn on the job. And every new first-year head coach, like they have to learn on the job some because they go from coordinating an offense, most of them, or coordinating a defense, sitting in the room scheming up plays, to then having to be responsible for an entire team's culture and being concerned with everything that happens in an organization, and all while Jerry Jones is on the side creating kind of a sideshow trying to drum up more interest in the organization. So this is a hard job. I expect someone who has head coaching experience, and the only person who doesn't have NFL head coaching experience I would look at is Urban Meyer, because I think that the experience he's had in the league, and I mean in college, has been so impressive, and he is such a big name and a respected guy. I think he walks in with immediate credibility, and I think he has to mess that up with the players. He has to lose that. Whereas Lincoln Riley and other guys, I think other young or first-time head coaches, they have to go in there and figure out how to earn the credibility.
Only two college guys I would think of is maybe David Shaw in Stanford, because he was in Baltimore, and he's run a prototype of offense and defense where he's been, or Matt Rule, who's had experience with being on the same staff, with Coughlin before coming back. Urban Meyer's never dealt with it. We've seen Nick Saban run to the league and run right back. This ain't for the faint of hearts, man, because you can't scare me by saying, hey, I'm not 19 years old telling you you're going to pull my scholarship and put me on the bench. I can care less. I'll be there longer than you.
Excuse me. When was the last time David Shaw won anything in Stanford? Yo,
it ain't about winning anything. It's about does your game translate over? Does your game translate over to being able to lead grown men? He was an NFL player.
So Lincoln Riley doesn't translate?
Lincoln Riley wasn't an NFL player, and Lincoln Riley never coached
or
been a part of an NFL organization.
How many coaches have been NFL players and still have been successful?
No, I think Bart's point is that he doesn't have any NFL experience to point to. You can't say that about David Shaw.
Damien, a lot of people discuss the importance between the relationship between the quarterback and a head coach. So do you think that Dak Prescott should have a say in the Cowboys coaching hire?
No, I don't think he should have final say, but I do think that, he should be involved. If he's going to be the long-term solution for the Dallas Cowboys at the quarterback position, then I think it wouldn't be smart on the Dallas Cowboys' part if they left him out of the whole process.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.